You mentioned that you do business in Alberta. Like, I imagine you have quality relationships there.
Yeah, a lot of. I actually go to Alberta now because of Trust Your Talent, once or twice a year at least now. And I'll be honest, because this is in the book anyways, I'm completely open. I had a deal that went south. It's in Winnipeg, and I lost 50,000. It was my early investment, so I was really, really nervous. That was probably my second or third investment since I got educated.
Okay.
So that was really scary. I did fly over there, and
So you did see the property before you did the deal?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see the property.
Did you have it inspected?
Well, they inspected it, and when what I learned is from the numbers. The numbers made sense because it's a property that had a fire. They had money in the buy, and they had insurance money too to start the build. And number-wise, it made sense. However, there's other factors.
Right. So who appraised it?
Somebody local there, and this.
So not your appraiser.
No.
Right. Who was the realtor? Was it your realtor or their realtor?
It's their realtor.
Okay. So they controlled all the information.
They controlled all the information. Right. This is not a renting deal. This is a GPLP setup.
Right.
And the deal wasn't that big. And I thought at the same time.
You still managed to lose 50K.
Still managed to lose 50K.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you were an owner? Or you lost your investment?
The investment. Because it's a GPLP situation.
Oh, right. So, limited loss. Right. Right. Well, it could have been worse then if you weren't an owner.
Yeah, exactly. I actually went there, and then.
Because I've heard people lost more money on Epic Alliance deals where they were the owner, right? Because they're equity owners. So people need to remember that you can make a lot of money in real estate, but if the property value goes underwater, as in like the price has dropped more than your down payment. Yeah. You owe that money, right? So you negative return.
Yes.
Not just loss of your investment. Exactly.
And because that person who was in charge of the project, he was relatively new as well, and I'm a people kind of person, and when I met him, he was pretty humble. He's Asian. And
damn Asians.
We can say that. Only we can.
Yes, I'm Asian. I'm not racist.
We can say that. And I met him when he was with his mom, so he seemed like a good son. So personally, I thought he was a really nice person, which he probably is. Yeah. However, I think they overspent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's been part of the message I've been trying to get across with some of past guests as well. This person may not have been a bad person. They just failed to execute, right? Like failing to execute doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just like if you had to steal bread to feed your family, I don't think that necessarily makes you a bad person, right? Right or wrong. But this person may have had great intentions. They just failed to execute, which is not uncommon.
No, it's not uncommon. However, I was hoping he would come back up. I didn't hear from him. He declared bankruptcy, and he was a flashy type. He drove a really, really nice Porsche SUV when I went to visit the property in Winnipeg a few years back. So there you go.
And that's the challenge of being an influencer.
Exactly.
Like before I became a realtor, I drove a used Honda Accord.
Me too.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if I never became in sales, I would never drive something that costs money.
My first car was a Honda Accord too. Right. Anyways.
But like the truth about real estate investing is, as soon as I got I switched to BMW, I was doing more business because they gave the image of success. Right?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm a frugal person. I don't like spending on these things.
Just the car.
Right. I love, I think once people understand that their money can make money for them, it makes no sense to spend it on frivolous things.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm a little bit overboard. You can even ask Cherry. I'm a little bit overboard how cheap I am.
Well, that's also Asian.
Both. But again, I'm pretty confident I can make consistently 20% on my money in real estate. Right? So why would I want to spend it on something like a Porsche, right?
As long as it's safe, right?
So it goes back like the BMW. It made me return, right? Because it helped me my business.
Exactly.
Right. So that to me is kind of like it's a business expense. that actually returned, right?
Yes.
But if I didn't have that, I would never drive a vehicle that expensive.
Okay.
Right.
What do you enjoy though?
I'm not a car person, so I don't enjoy
Okay.
those things. I value consistency, reliability over everything else.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do not need flash, and also because I know if you get a Porsche, everything costs more. Your tires, your maintenance,
yeah.
your oil change. Like that goes against my values.
Oh, okay. That's very true.
Right.
That reminds me of something. I grew up in Taiwan, and there was a point in time, if you're flashy,
Yeah.
you might get kidnapped.
Oh my God.
You know, so like naturally, subconsciously, I would think, why would you want to put yourself out there?
Exactly.
Yeah. Same thing with investors, liabilities, right? That's why we set up corporation. I actually have investors that kept saying, or even new investors coming in, kept saying, I want everything under my personal name, right? I want to be on title.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is just because you want owning. At the same time, they haven't evaluated the liability, for example, and the possibility
They don't understand
of
the full
picture
yeah.
or the tax structure and everything else that could be the benefit. Yeah.
Not uncommon for novices. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just I always hope that novices understand like there's so much more.
Exactly.
Right? Never think that you know everything. I don't think I know everything.
I don't think I do either.
I know I don't know everything.
Exactly. I don't either.
And just to go back to this gentleman in Winnipeg with the Porsche, like in my experience, I have over 350 clients, and they almost all fit the profile of the millionaire next door in the book, right? Humble, do not show their money, frugal, right? So when someone does show their money, they are an outlier.
Okay.
Like from my experience, they are an outlier, and they may and that is part of the formula for being an influencer, though. So I just think people need to understand that. Right?
Yeah. I'm all for if it's something you love. If you're a car person, probably.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Then use your cash flow or use your residual to enjoy what you love to do.
Well, here's the funny thing. Like a friend of mine loves Ferraris, has one, doesn't show it anywhere on social media.
Okay. Is there somebody we mutually know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I okay.
Right.
I get that.
So it's again, and so I guess my point is if someone shows flash, there's usually an agenda behind it. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because again, like, why would you want to display that you have stuff? You might get robbed.
The CRA might come to you.
That too. Right.
Yeah.